Mr. Guenther Steiner is right in front of me right now. And I've grabbed him inside Pirelli, actually, because Guenther, going to put you on the spot as a former team boss. How did you feel listening to McLaren trying to get Lando Norris to move over for Oscar Piastri?
I think in the end they did a good job to convince him without, the English style it was, could you please move over, and gentlemen. And for a while, I think, he didn't answer because he was thinking about it, what best to do, which was also very smart, not get emotional about it. And then in the end, as much as at that moment in time, I think he didn't want to move over, he did it because he realized maybe he needs the help later on. I would say if McLaren is missing 1 point at the end of the year to win the Drivers' Championship, they will not be happy.
They won't, but that's a long way off right now, isn't it? And I guess they need that harmony between the two drivers still at this stage.
Yeah, they need the harmony, but I think like to convince Lando, they could have spoken with Oscar as well, saying, Oscar, I think for you winning the championship is very difficult. Maybe it's not this year, but you need us next year as well. They are both there for the long term. So obviously, I'm not included in what the agreements are between the two. So I just give you my opinion. But for me, it's like, because I think Lando can now win the World Championship because they are very strong. The car is very good. The team did a very good job, So it would be a pity for Lando if he loses the championship because he's missing a few points.
You could also say some cracks appeared today at Red Bull with Max Verstappen. He seemed a bit hot under the collar, and there was some pretty spicy radio messages coming back at him from his race engineer as well.
Yeah, because it's like Max, you were used to it, and Max is a racer. He will never give up or anything, So he's just getting what Lando did very correct. Max lost his temper, a little bit. And but Max is used so much to win, and for him, this is now like, I'm not going to win anymore. I think it's a bit of panic setting in because the McLarens are very fast. The Mercedes was good, so it's just like a little bit. It's getting to him because it was not as easy as maybe was 2-3 months ago. And we all know when you are put under pressure, you make more mistakes than when you are free to do what you want to do.
We were talking just now about how this was a race where we heard a lot of team radio. We heard a lot of what's going on with teams trying to manage their drivers and their races. Is this a day that you really miss it, where you're like, the adrenaline would be pumping and you'd have tough calls to make?
Yeah, if I would be in a position to win a race, for sure I would. When you're just fighting for P15 or P16, I don't miss that one anymore. I mean, I've done that. But no, I mean, I miss a little bit, but I'm not bitter. I quite enjoy it. And it's nice that you see that, like what McLaren did is a very good job. I mean, if you just look back 18 months where they were nowhere, and what they made out of it, it's astonishing, So hats off to them, what they achieved, because everybody said beginning of this year, it will be again a Max Verstappen Red Bull show. It isn't, So we still see Formula One can be very interesting.
Now, I know you're a man with many hats at the moment. You've got lots of different partnerships, lots of ambassadorial roles, but you do a lot of punditry here. So I'm going to finish off with your pundit's hat on. Predictions. Who wins the Drivers' Championship and who wins the Constructors' Championship?
Ooh, you got me here. Constructors, it's so difficult because they're so close together if you think how many points are. Constructors, I would say McLaren gets it because they've got two very good drivers, in my opinion. I think drivers, I would say Max because he's a good racer, and in the end he will take get the best out of it.
That wasn't quite the last question. I'm going to go with one harder one. Do you keep Sergio Perez beyond the summer break?
I think today he didn't do a bad job. I must say, you always must say what is the latest one. I wouldn't, but if he would have qualified better yesterday and not put it in the wall, he could have beat 3, 4, 5, and that would make points. So I think he's got another chance in Spa, but I think if he messes up in Spa, I would say it's time to move, or to swap or to do something, because I think it's also because he needs to get out of this situation, and it's difficult for him. Today, he made a good step because today he drove very good, in my opinion. He did the best he could do, and at least didn't make a mistake. So, it's a tough decision to make. But yesterday I was thinking, man, it's Q1, with the Red Bull, he shouldn't be doing that,
Yeah, he's man under pressure. But I appreciate your insight. Thank you very much, Guenther, and we'll see you at the race soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chris.